Sunny today, 80. Tonight, clear, 49. Tomorrow, clear sky will be in the morning. Some clouds in the afternoon, 75. Some light rain scattered around Friday, 69. Chance of showers and thunderstorms Saturday. From a Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans. The new All-Star Summer Blizzard Treat lineup is here with flavors like the Girl Scout Thin Mints, the new Oreo Dirt Pie, Caramel Fudge Cheesecake, Cotton Candy, and more. There's something for everybody. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
People who suffer from long-term chronic joint pain spend so much of their time acting, putting up a carefree front. It's exhausting.
I was really tired of trying to act like I wasn't in pain because I was in pain all the time.
Rick Rawlings didn't want everyone else to know that he was coping with agonizing shoulder pain 24/7.
Yes, I had to put on a face to cover up my pain.
But then Rick found QC Kinetics, offering new lasting treatments for joint pain using natural biologics. Treatments designed to restore and repair joint tissue with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The results were amazing.
I am very glad. It changed my life doing the QC Kinetics. Today, my shoulders feel wonderful. The cranky Rick is gone. He's not grouchy anymore.
No more acting. Feel like yourself again with a call to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 826-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
iHeartRadio salutes the graduating class of 2022. Get your cap, your gown, because it's going down. A specially curated playlist featuring the biggest hits of this year you'll always be linked to. And it's not just about the class of 22. Download the free iHeartRadio app for the biggest hits from the year you graduated. 72, we got you. 95, you too. Plus, enjoy podcasts that'll help you map out your best life, whether you're just entering the real world or have been here for a while. The free iHeartRadio app. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-973-3098 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3098. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3098 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-3098.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. We'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Today's Guardians-White Sox game postponed because of a COVID-19 outbreak within the Cleveland organization. Manager Terry Francona among those testing positive. He's sidelined indefinitely. Francona missed most of the last 2 seasons with various health issues. A pair of Game 5s in the second round of the NBA playoffs tonight. Celtics-Bucks, with that series knotted up at 2 games apiece. Boston center Robert Williams, who missed Monday's win, is listed as questionable with left knee soreness. First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
Now that I'm hearing about Robert Williams being injured, because I think that if he doesn't play, that's a big loss for them. And I think that puts Boston in a dicey situation. He helps you immensely. Having said all of that, I'm still going with Boston to win Game 5. I believe they will lose Game 6, and I believe they will come back and they will close the deal out in a Game 7 in a thriller.
Game 5, 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. The Warriors won't have to contend with Marant in tonight's potential closeout game against the Grizzlies. The Memphis point guard is out of Game 5. He's doubtful the remainder of this NBA postseason because of a bone bruise in his right knee.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Spring. That's Spring. Enter that keyword at our website now for a chance to win $1,000.
Log on to ESPNAVL.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and, of course, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. You can live stream every show that we do live here from the Ingles Studio. We are brought to you always by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene. And, wow, so yeah, you remember that thing I said about the 76ers?
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
Worked out just fine for me.
Did not go well. We'll have your latest NBA playoffs update coming up later on in this hour. We're going to talk some rookies today as well. Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, who are the favorites, or who would you be wagering on to be the rookie of the year, offense and defense in the NFL?
I feel like I'm hosting the Maury Povich show. The rookies you love and the veterans they displaced.
All that coming your way, as well as a former NFL kicker suing his own team, or his former team, I guess. I don't think we should be too shocked by that.
He had to deal with Urban Meyer, so you know what? He probably deserves a little monies.
Yeah, probably so. We also will have a lawsuit coming up in the golf world. Can't wait for that. We'll get into that in just a second. Plus, we'll talk some ACC realignment.
Finally, the ACC looked around and went, hey, it's stupid that some of our teams only traveled each other every 3 presidential terms.
Maybe we will get to see the end of non-conference conference matchups between North Carolina and Wake Forest.
Maybe that means Florida State will travel to Virginia Tech before I die. Do you realize the last time Florida State played at Virginia Tech was 2011?
Really?
It's how the schedule works.
Yeah, that's
you
crazy.
only see the non-tendered team every 6 years, so that means you only travel to them every 12 years.
Breaking down the walls in the ACC. But let's talk some golf first, because the PGA has decided that they will not be giving out waivers to any of their players to play in this new Saudi-backed league, the Golf Invitational Series, the LIV Golf Invitational Series. No PGA guys are going to be getting their waivers for this.
And I cannot emphasize enough how myopic of a view that is for the PGA Tour. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
How many golfers do you legitimately think have a chance to win in any given week?
Oh, I would say it's in the neighborhood of 20.
I'd say it's in the 60s.
Really? Okay.
How many can you legitimately develop into actual stars?
3.
There you go. So what this should have done is the PGA Tour look at it and go, this is a chance for the guys like, I don't know, Mackenzie Hughes or Alex Noren or Matthew Wolff, guys that I know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I am a golf draft nerd, and I wager on golf often.
Mm-hmm.
you could have allowed those guys to go over here and play. And I'll be honest with you, it's competing with the RBC Canadian Open or something. Yeah, that's the event that this London event would have coincided with.
Right.
Does anybody care?
No.
Anybody sitting around waiting to watch the RBC? No. This had the possibility to have new. New's good.
Mm-hmm.
The USFL shown us. New's good. New will work for a minute. And you could have legitimately had some storylines, and the real golf nerd would have paid attention. Instead, you created yourself a problem. Because now you're squaring off with Greg Norman, who's one of your biggest stars of the last 40 years.
Okay.
They're not even allowing him to play in the Open. He filed a request to play in the Open, and now, because, well, you are doing this other league, and we don't like that, so you don't get to play. And this is what every major sporting organization does, outside of one, and it's the popular one.
The NFL?
The NFL block off the USFL? They tell guys, hey, if you make a roster in the USFL, you can't play here. No, because they're not a threat, and they know that.
So
this is not a threat to them. I don't care how much money's in it. I don't care. I don't care if they played a tournament on an airplane hangar the week of the Masters. Nobody'd watch it.
But could it not be a threat to the PGA?
Tell me how.
So they're offering, what is it, $20 million purses or something like that?
That's all rumor. Well, the purses will be large.
Right.
There's also 8 events.
I get that.
So it's not like anybody's going to go do this and go, nope, I'm good. I'm just going to go sit at home for the rest of the year.
But would people be more willing to, or less willing, I guess, to watch the event you said, the RBC, if 5 of their biggest stars are playing in this $20 million tournament, whereas the RBC, it offers you, what, $1 million?
I'm sure they would.
$2 million
Who
to
cares?
win?
Who cares? Your
The
viewership
PGA
on
does.
And that's the point. It's so myopic and it's so close-minded that it almost surprises me that it surprises anybody. Well, nobody's going to watch the RBC Canadian. Nobody's going to watch that anyway.
That's true.
They're not.
That's true.
You had the potential to get eyeballs on your sport. Instead, now you're going to get eyeballs on your sport because this is going to turn into a great big legal battle.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
And guys like Sergio Garcia, who have basically already tipped their hand that not only were they were going and weren't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sergio's in his 40s.
Yeah,
you lose that guy, who cares?
Yeah, he doesn't move the needle.
He hasn't been competitive at a high-end event in 10 years. But he was in 4th like 6 years ago. Where'd he finish?
Right.
About 40th. Right. And that's what you were going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's who was going to go do this. Brooks Koepka was not playing in this event. He wasn't. But those guys don't play in your meaningless events anyway. So what does it matter?
Maybe Brooks Koepka is already pulled out of this week's tournament, the AT&T, because injuries.
The only thing I can equate this to, my wife has been watching Friends.
Okay.
She has never seen that show all the way through, mainly because she keeps starting it. Then she falls asleep, and I'll watch 14 episodes because I've seen it 900 times.
Right.
There was a part of that show where Ross and Rachel were together, and everything was hunky-dunky.
Mm-hmm.
But he could not stop worrying about Mark, the guy she worked with, where there was nothing really happening, and he wasn't really a threat to you, but it challenges your feelings.
Right.
Kevin McKelligan is right. Sergio won the Masters in 2017. I was over-exaggerating. It's been 5 years since he was relevant. Not relevant now.
No.
2022, he's not a relevant golfer. And that's the guy you were going to lose to this. And you would have but you would have lent your young guys. So you have a young guy like, say, Matthew Wolff, and that's the one that I can't get away from because he cannot hardly compete on tour. Hang around for a day or two. But then you could have sent him to this event that would have gotten eyeballs because it's new, and new always sells, and build that up. You could have used this as a filler to yourself.
So using it as your minor league system.
Yeah, but instead you had to put your fingers in your ears and go, nope, everybody will leave us because we have to have everything. In spite of the fact you have the Korn Ferry Tour, the European Tour, the British Tour, I could keep doing this. Mm-hmm. But they're all under the PGA Tour umbrella. We control all that. We make all the money from that.
Right.
The PGA has one of the weirdest scenarios in all of sports. They have too many good players in their sport. Baseball would kill for what the PGA Tour has. They don't. They have too many players that are competitive, marketable. You just don't have enough inventory. So instead of using this to your benefit, you saw it as a threat. And now it's going to get ugly. Because there will be players that play in this and go, what are you going to do about it? I promise you, Sergio Garcia will be one of them.
Yeah. And the PGA will be true to their word.
Mm-hmm.
They will
do that.
Ban
See how that works. See how that works. Do you know what monopoly means? Do you know what an antitrust lawsuit is? Because that's what's on the horizon. You challenge somebody to challenge you, they will, and they will win. They will 100% win.
Okay. Maybe you're right. Again, I'm new to the golf game, so I don't know. But there are here you go. Why would I allow this? Why would I allow a guy to... It's hard. The only thing that I could keep coming up with was wrestling. Like,
that's a good example, right, and my side of this is not going to be yours.
Well, because none of the other sports have a competing league. There's not a competitive league to anybody. So you can use the USFL to the NFL. Well, a guy's going to choose the NFL 100 times out of 100. You got the NBA and the CBA or whatever. And
that's what this would have been. This was never going to dethrone you. All right, let's say you get Bryson DeChambeau. You get Augusta? Didn't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a sport where the venue sells way more than the golfer does.
But I think to wrestling, like the WWE and AEW, I'm not going
it's not even vaguely a threat.
Vince McMahon's not going to allow his guys to compete in those other
It's funny you
events.
said that because he's getting ready to.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. One of his biggest acts is getting ready to break the fourth wall because Vince is smart. And I know it's pro wrestling and that's fake sports. I'm well aware of that.
Right. Who's breaking the wall?
Roman Reigns.
Oh, I saw that he had been offered like $10 million from Shad Khan to go join the AEW.
It's not to join. It's not to join. AEW can't survive. And it's the same principle. And you can do this with every one of these subsidiary leagues in every one of these sports. All it gives you is free publicity. Look at the NFL. Did you know who PJ Walker was before the USFL existed?
No.
Did you realize he started a game in this league?
Mm-hmm.
It worked out quite nicely for the NFL, didn't it? Hey, this guy that normally we would have zero clue who he was. But I got all this free publicity. Here he trots in, and it's weird. It just worked for us.
Right.
Just works. A guy goes to London that you've never heard of. Abraham Answer. I'm looking at the world golf rankings, so I'm going to say a bunch of very odd golfers through this.
Right.
He goes over there and wins. It draws 1.5 million, 2 million eyeballs. Who is that better for? In the grand scheme of things, who is the biggest winner there? PGA Tour. Because your guy just got free publicity. Did you make money off the tournament? No. You made money off of yours because your TV deals are already done. But nobody watched it. Who cares? You sell 4 big events every year anyway. And you're worried about Phil Mickelson, who's 107 years old.
But this is what
Greg Norman and Sergio Garcia.
But this is what golf does, is it not?
It is.
I mean, this is old guy yelling at clouds. This is you cannot compete.
Now, I will say,
us.
this is the first time the PGA Tour's done anything like this in years. And the reason this is the lead story is because I'm telling you right now, this is going to get bigger by the minute. And once this tournament happens, you're going to see names that are really familiar.
Right. The guys who had requested waivers to go play in this London tournament, Lee Westwood, Sergio Garcia, Jason Kokrak, Kevin Na, I don't even know, Robert Garrigus.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of that guy before. And, of course, Phil Mickelson. We're the ones
those are the ones you know.
Yeah, those are the ones that had filed for waivers, and the PGA has now said, no, you can't have a waiver.
And I'm going to say again, those are the ones you know. Greg Norman swears it was 30% of the World Golf Top 100.
Wow.
And if that's the case, somebody, and I have this funny feeling it's Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay.
He's been so quiet lately.
Mm-hmm.
And above all else, he's played terribly.
Right.
But he's still a name. He'll challenge this.
Oh,
Or someone like him will challenge this.
I think
and
they
he'll
all
look
will.
at the PGA Tour and go, do what I want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me I can't come back. Ban me. Ban me. Give me the free publicity. Let me play in this tour. Make bukus of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Greg Norman wants, too. This is one of those times that it's so funny from the outside to watch this. Because I feel like this LIV tour has basically played the PGA Tour like a fiddle. And they've, at every impasse, done exactly what they wanted them to do.
Yeah.
All
Well,
you
they've
had to
done
do was
exactly
just
what
act like this didn't exist.
Right. They've done exactly what they knew they were going to do. Once you started trying to poach golfers from the PGA, you knew this is how the PGA was going to react.
I was hoping it wasn't. Because who cares? Look at the list you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 90% of the people listening to this show right now went, who?
Right. Lee Westwood, he's got some name recognition.
He's also in his 50s.
Mm-hmm. I guess Kevin Na behind Sergio
Who's in
and
his
Phil
40s.
would be the next one.
Mm-hmm. It just doesn't matter. But now you have set yourself up for an antitrust lawsuit. They have never gone well.
Mm-hmm.
WWE faced one of these. The NFL faced one of these at one time. They just ran you out of money. Well, here's the thing. PGA Tour, you're not going to run these guys out of money.
Right.
These guys have more money than you do. So you want to play this game, FAFO. It's become my new favorite phrase. Find out.
Yeah, just find out. You'll find out.
And it's
'Cause the
going to
lawsuits
become
are
a
coming.
big story. I've watched this whole thing develop, and what I was afraid of is exactly what happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The PGA Tour says no. It's one thing to, well, this is what we would do if you did that. Then you get to the point of they did, and now you have to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And you've done everything they wanted you to do.
So you believe that this will open them up to some sort of antitrust lawsuit because they have a monopoly on the American golf game?
You cannot, in this country, tell somebody they cannot make money in other ways when you are literally the only way to make money. If a competitor comes in, you cannot monopolize like that. Now, and there's a lot that goes into that. I'm grossly oversimplifying this. But when you have somebody that has this much money, they can hurt you. And do you not think the timing's weird? The timing of when this tournament is, do you not find it to be strange? It's sandwiched right in between the PGA Championship and the Open.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because
they're going to steal all kinds of your thunder.
Yeah.
All kinds of it. PGA Championships next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
PGA Tour will get 100% of golf eyeballs. Then you have nothing. Those guys will play, and then they will be told they can't play at the Open. And FAFO.
Yep.
Find out.
The lawsuits could be coming for the PGA as, they have, may have done everything that the LIV organization wanted them to do. Was, okay, say no, ban us, and now we'll see you in
I'm sure there are
court.
some people that are like, that's a weird story to kick off with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to remind you said that in about a month.
Right.
Because this is going to be one of those things that we've never seen anything like this.
It could be the story of the summer.
It's been 40 years since we've seen a league that could get challenged in this way. And look, we love golf.
Mm-hmm.
We're a golf people around here. And let's be really honest. It was either that or, hey, the Grizzlies and the Sixers, these teams all suck.
Well, the ACC, all the athletics directors and the shot callers have been meeting for their spring meetings down in Florida. Some interesting things have come out of it, and we may see a realignment of sorts in the ACC. We'll talk about that coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little cooler for us tomorrow, mainly clear skies for us here tonight.
Temperatures tonight drop down to right around 50 degrees. Clouds expected to increase as we head through the day. On Thursday, it'll be a bit breezy. Northeast winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, and again cooler. Afternoon highs in the low to mid-70s, right about where we should be this time of year. Scattered showers overnight Thursday night, 57. Showers, even a rumble of thunder on Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey football fans, I'm Micah Parsons.
And I'm Kyle Pitts.
With new Old Spice Dry Spray, you can smell ready for anything, on the field or off.
I smell ready for a touchdown.
I smell ready for a pick six.
I smell ready for a max contract.
I smell ready for a ball.
Actually, you do. You do smell good.
Thanks, Kyle.
Smell ready for anything with Old Spice Dry Spray, available at your local Walmart pickup.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
I'm Michelle V. Woodhouse for Congress, and I authorized this message.
Madison Cawthorn has self-destructed and cannot win the race for Congress. That's why true mountain conservatives are now moving to support America First conservative Michelle Woodhouse. Conservatives understand that Michelle Woodhouse is our only chance to keep our congressional seat in conservative hands. A vote for Madison Cawthorn is a wasted vote that could allow an establishment politician like Chuck Edwards to win our seat. That's why it's so important that conservatives unite behind Michelle Woodhouse now. Michelle Woodhouse will fight against Joe Biden's socialist agenda, and Michelle Woodhouse is the only candidate who can win in November. This race is coming down to two people, conservative Michelle Woodhouse versus Chuck Edwards, who is the establishment candidate. In other words, Chuck Edwards is just like Richard Burr and Adam Kinzinger. Conservatives, the choice is clear. Michelle Woodhouse for Congress. Paid for by Michelle V. Woodhouse for Congress.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene. He's absolutely obsessed with this new Weddle game.
Oh, it's the greatest. If you play Wordle, that's basically what it is. Of which I've never played that game because I can't stand anything that says you can only do this one time a day. I'm too obsessive for that. There is a new football game called Weddle, and basically it's the same premise.
Like Eric Weddle.
Yeah. I think that's where it came from.
Of course
actually.
it did.
The premise is you guess random players, and it will tell you their position and if they play in the right division and all these other things. And it'll light up green just like Wordle does. So we're going to play this moving forward in the commercials on the YouTube show. Every time you win, you become the reigning speaker of the house.
It's a whole lot of fun. We've been obsessed with it for the last 2 hours.
We've accomplished nothing for the last 2 hours.
Since we found out that this game existed. Apparently it just came about in like March.
It's very low tech. which really makes me want to completely redo it and just send it to them and go, do it this way.
It's Jeremy's new Sporkle.
Oh, I've wasted more time on Sporkle than you could shake a stick at.
So that's a new feature that we're going to be doing during the commercial breaks on the YouTube stream. Just another reason for you to go to the sportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So the NCAA Football Oversight Committee came down the other day and said they were easing the requirements for championship games in conferences. And so with the spring meetings going on with the ACC down in Florida, I think it's going to come about that the ACC is going to split up. They're no longer going to have divisions.
And they shouldn't. Divisions are dumb. I don't care where you're doing it. Divisions are dumb. Because invariably you end up with an NFC least. Oh, you won that. Great. And that and $1 will get you a Coke.
And in the ACC, the Coastal Division has been the least of the divisions since the inception of the divisions of the ACC. I can't tell you how many times working in the hallways of iHeart Radio Asheville here, I have had to hear NC State fans Brian Hall and Mike Morgan on Monday nights complain about NC State being buried in the Atlantic Division with Florida State and Louisville and Clemson. And it's like, and then over here in the Coastal, you've just got this mishmash. You've got this mishmash of wide open races with, Miami falling off and Virginia Tech not being what they once were. You got Pittsburgh and Carolina, and it's just one division in the ACC has always been, in football anyway, way more dominant. And it's always the Atlantic. It's never the Coastal.
No. But the biggest thing is that you lose the ability to have realistic rivalries.
Right.
Interdivisionally.
This is why this past season, and I think for the next 2 years, we're going to see non-conference games between North Carolina and Wake Forest. Because the way the rotation worked, NC State, Duke, and Carolina, Duke and Carolina wound up in the Coastal. NC State and Wake Forest wound up in the Atlantic, and you can only have one set cross-division rival. So with Carolina, it had to be NC State, because there's no way you're not going to have that game every year.
No, and this just makes the scheduling easier. This is a step. This is a step in the right direction of ultimately there is going to be one big amorphous conference.
Oh, of all of the conferences, or the Power Fives anyway.
Oh, because this will, according to the story, this would be ready for the 2023 football season.
Mm-hmm.
That is how that has been put out as of right now. And if you can make this work, because the argument has always been travel.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard when you have all these things laid out and it's years in advance. You can't match them up. Yes, you can. And so you do this when it works, and it will work. We can put a man on the moon. You can find a way to travel to Blacksburg, Virginia.
Right. You still want conference championship games, though? I do.
I don't care.
I think we should.
The further we've gone on, I used to be dead in the wool that every conference should have a conference championship game.
Mm-hmm.
The further we've gone on, the less I care. The SEC, that's the only one I watch. Who was in the ACC title game last year?
Oh, God, it was Pittsburgh and...
I'm just curious if you get it right.
Who was the Atlantic?
It's Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, that's right, Wake Forest.
Yeah, how much of that game did you watch?
Not much.
I can tell you how much I watched. I'll tell you every play I watched. You want to hear it again? With old little tiny hands Kenny Pickett.
Right.
Sam Hartman.
I mean, normally it is something that I will tune in for. I mean, what do we have? Clemson and Carolina were in it the year before.
It's just one thing that I've completely changed my tune on over the years. You have to play it out on the field. No, you don't. You really don't.
But you kind of should.
You don't.
Right?
You don't. I mean, yeah, if you get Georgia and Alabama, that's great.
Right.
When you get Pittsburgh and Wake Forest, yeah, I'm good. I have to wash my mullet that day. Sorry.
But that doesn't normally work out that way.
You would be surprised. When that talk started coming up, I went back and looked at. There's 5 major conferences.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them have god-awful, unwatchable title games every single year. Now, it's usually the Pac-12 is almost invariably one of them.
Yes.
There's only been one year that they had a title game that was between two teams that were in the top 15.
Because to quote Joe Exotic, who really cares? I guess let's just say, to paraphrase Joe Exotic. Because I can't actually quote that on this here program.
Correct.
Yeah, those FCC rules, pesky things they are. Time to get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, there is an Ohio family that got an unsuspecting visitor the other day. It was from Child Protective Services, and the reason that this Cincinnati family was visited by CPS was because they went viral. They went viral last weekend because they went as a family to compete in a marathon, which is not weird. The Flying Pig Marathon took place in Cincinnati, Ohio.
The Flying Pig?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Please tell me they don't launch a swine in the middle of this, because that would be horrible.
No, they don't. I don't know why.
Delicious.
I did not do research on the event, so I don't know why they call it the Flying Pig Marathon. But they were at this marathon, and they went viral because there was a very touching scene at the end of it where the entire family, mom and dad and two kids, crossed the finish line holding hands, and then CPS shows up on their doorstep not a week later because one of the kids was 6 years old. Now, if you're not familiar with a marathon, marathons are 26 miles long. And, of course, when this went out on the internet trolls and all the experts got a hold of it and said, well, that's torture. You shouldn't allow a 6-year-old to run 26 miles. Now, part of me wants to go down that path of, yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
I just put the LA Gear. You remember the shoes that had the little blinker on them? Yeah. I had those as a kid. I would have run for 50 miles in those things just to watch them light up.
Just to watch them light up. 6-year-old
Look at my
kid.
shoes. They make me run fast.
See, but instead of, in this day and age, going, oh my gosh, can you believe a 6-year-old ran 26.2 miles? We immediately go to, oh, they're abusing that child.
I immediately go to, I couldn't run 26.2 feet.
Now, doctors...
Unless there was a bear chasing me or an ice cream truck that I really wanted to catch.
Now, doctors will say that it's probably not a good idea for a 6-year-old to run 26.2 miles because, I mean, you can imagine all of the health problems that can cause. I mean, a 6-year-old is not really going to be able to, determine whether or not he's too tired to keep going or feel pressure to continue with his family or be able to know when he's too dehydrated or what. But come on, the kid ran with his family. These people act like the parents did not watch over the 6-year-old for the entire 26.2 miles. Like mom and dad just left him at mile 14 and went, good luck finding the finish line, kid. It's just insane to me. I want to say congratulations to that kid.
That you made it.
6 years old and runs 26.2 miles.
Can we pat the kid on the head for you're in tremendous shape for 6?
100%. I feel like that should be like a world record or something.
I have two stories, and they both fall into the mantle of this is why we can't have nice things.
Okay.
EA Sports will no longer produce a FIFA video game. Deals broke down because they could not agree on money. So now EA will have its own new game that's titled EA Sports FC.
Bad idea.
100%. Because that means you can't use the licensed teams and Seacrest out.
Exactly.
Seacrest out. All the way out.
Could they have an MLS game? Is that part of FIFA? Is that how that works?
No one would play that.
I have no idea.
FIFA is the licensing board. So there are, if I remember correctly, I hadn't played the game in a couple of years. There were MLS teams on the game.
Okay.
Now with licensing, they would have to strike another deal under their game. FIFA is going to want their own that they're paid for. It's a headache.
Right.
And just, okay, did we not learn with the college football game? It's been 8 years. I know it's coming back next year, but I'm still angry.
I can't wait. I sat down this weekend.
I will
and
play
played.
that game until my fingers bleed.
I sat down this past weekend and broke out the college football 13 game.
I still have. It was 14. That's the last.
14
one?
was the last
I
one.
still have that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't update the rosters personally, but there's somebody that does that, and I download it on a yearly basis.
Wait, you still have the connection to be able to do that? Because that was on like
PS4.
It was on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mine's on PS3, and I don't think the network still exists for the PS3.
No, I think at that point they go, time to upgrade.
It's time to upgrade.
Another thing that was fun while it lasted, the Johnny Manziel T.O. tandem for the Zappers in the Fan Control Football League.
What happened?
Is no more. The league announced yesterday that T.O. has been traded as part of a 3-team deal in the first in the history of the Fan Control Football League. Owens is now a member of the Knights. Maybe.
Maybe. Does he have to pass a physical first? Or
Nope. It's Fan Control Football.
Can you veto the trade?
Yep.
Yeah, the fans get to say no.
The fans of any team can vote by a 70% supermajority, and the trade is rejected.
That's great.
Look, every league gives something. I want that.
You want to be able to veto trades in the NFL?
Yeah. Oh, not in the NFL. The NFL doesn't need anything. But in the NBA, absolutely.
So, like, when Jay Will came up with his big trade this morning that's gone viral.
Stop doing that?
Yeah.
Well, they can. I mean, look, I understand that this is a difficult time of year to come up with content. I am super well aware of that. But can we stop with the random proposing of trades that don't make any sense?
Right. Jay Will came up with this one this morning, and it has gone viral. It's trended on Twitter the entire day of maybe Russell Westbrook goes to the Knicks along with 2 first-round draft picks in back-to-back years, by the way, from the Los Angeles Lakers, which that's not allowed, for, what was it, Zach LaVine goes from Chicago to L.A., and then Chicago ends up with 2 dudes. I don't remember who they were. It was Evan Fournier was one of them. And this has trended all day long of people arguing about this fictitious trade. Stop trying to make the Lakers good, because they're not.
They're bad. Bad, and irrelevant.
And I would be ticked off if I was a New York Knicks fan of why are you trying to make us worse?
It's hard to make the Knicks worse.
Yeah.
In a league where 2/3 of your teams make the playoffs, you didn't.
Indeed. And I still want to see, even though I heard someone say on ESPN Radio today that Tom Thibodeau really wanted Russell Westbrook, I would just love to see him get so irate that he refuses to play defense.
I won't believe that. If Tom Thibodeau showed up here and told me that to my face, I would ask him, are you being held against your will? Because I don't believe a word you just said.
Because the rumor was that Tom Thibodeau really pushed for a trade with the Washington Wizards to get Russell Westbrook, because he just loves his game, I guess. I mean, I guess he is pretty good at stealing the ball.
I just started my my homework for the draft with the lottery coming up.
Okay.
Man, this is a bad NBA draft. Like, bad. And what really makes it bad is that you do have a generational player next year.
Mm-hmm.
There's no consensus on who's going to go in the top 5 in this draft. And I have a lot of time dealing with that.
Who's the generational player next year?
Victor Wembanyama.
Mm.
He's good Rudy Gobert with Luka Doncic handles.
Nice.
He's 7'3".
Okay. I'll put him on the radar here, because I don't know who that is.
Oh, just
never heard of it.
Trust me. Log into my computer one day and just VIC. You'll see everything you need to see. Because he is fun to watch.
Another player who's really fun to watch, generational player. If I can take that leap, Ja Morant, and he's not going to be playing any more of this postseason.
Yeah, he looked around and went, well, it doesn't matter if I come back or not, because we are going to get smoked.
He's got a bone bruise, according to the Memphis Grizzlies, and he is I think the official word is that he is doubtful for the rest of the playoffs, but since
He's
that's
out.
only going to last another game,
he's out.
Maybe 2 games, he'll be done. He's done for the year.
I have a definitive take on that. Give it to you in 12 minutes.
Right, because the Memphis Grizzlies will be taking on the Golden State Warriors tonight. So Jeremy's Greene on Greene coming up after the next break here. But Ja Morant says no, or we don't know what Ja Morant says.
Well, the doctors said no.
The doctors say Ja Morant, bone bruise, not going to be available for the rest of the playoffs.
Because it makes no sense for him to play. Ja Morant could come out and play like his hair was on fire for 3 games. It doesn't matter. You're going to get beaten one of these.
Mm-hmm.
This series is done like dinner.
Yep. And why would you risk it if you're the Memphis Grizzlies, putting Ja Morant out there to maybe further injure himself?
The Grizzlies are going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
That team is going to be good. The ownership group is good. The money is there.
They've got draft capital out the wazoo.
Not Oklahoma City Thunder level draft capital, but yes, they're very good there. That team's going to be good, but we're on a collision course. We've been on a collision course throughout the entire playoffs, and we're almost there. Thanks to the Phoenix Suns.
Mm-hmm.
They are but 1 game away from cinching up their spot. The Warriors need one tonight to completely lock up theirs.
Is that for the championship?
And then we have the series that we want.
Is that for the championship?
No, because I don't think either one of them can win in the finals.
Really?
Mm-mm. I don't think either one of them is good enough defensively. For what they're going to face, whether it's Milwaukee or Miami, I do not think that they're good enough to deal with that.
Okay. I would buy that on the Milwaukee side. I'm still – you know what? No, I'm not. Because I don't think Milwaukee with Chris Middleton, without Chris Middleton.
Well, Middleton would be back for the finals.
Oh, would he be?
Yes,
he
would be back.
Well, then that changes things.
I think he'll be back for the next series.
I still just can't see Miami as a championship team.
Oh, I can.
I still feel like they
Miami
need another piece.
By the way, did you watch? I haven't seen what they did last night. Oh, okay.
Oh, the Miami Heat. Oh, yeah.
They're pretty good.
They are pretty good. It also plays into your favor that you got, you got old James Harden again. Not the old James Harden.
Oh, you got who James Harden is.
James Harden.
You got who James Harden is.
And a very limited Joel Embiid. I mean, it was painful to watch last night of just him trudging up and down the court with the pain in his face. After he got the basketball smooshed into his face, his broken face.
And here's the sad part. Name the player for the Heat that played really well last night, not named Jimmy Butler or Max Strus.
There wasn't one.
There you go.
They were all
and you still won by almost 40.
Yeah, they got it. They got chip in from everybody last night. They had, seven guys in double figures?
It was a good night.
So maybe
it showed what it is that I see in that team.
Maybe they are deep enough to make a run to the championship. I still feel like it's going to be
tough.
somebody in the West.
That team's tough. See, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters who comes out of the West. I feel like the West is such a murderer's row. That Warriors-Sun series will be must-watch television. And I just don't feel like it's – I mean, the East, okay. I mean, yeah, the next one's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You didn't really have much of that to get here.
Yeah. Speaking of teams that are a piece away from threatening for a championship, it's the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, they need something.
Can we get a Robin for Luka Doncic, please?
No kidding. Like
Jalen Brunson. Okay. Tell me you don't watch these games without telling me you don't watch these games.
Right. Jalen Brunson, he's the Robin on the stat sheet for this team.
He scores the points. That's literally it.
Right. But you're, I mean, last night they had 2 starters that didn't even score.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Reggie Bullock.
That team is proof positive of how good Luka Doncic actually is.
Mm-hmm.
That you could get that team to this point is staggering.
16 turnovers last night for the Dallas Mavericks, and in fact, they had 12 turnovers in the third quarter alone, which is where Phoenix just put their foot on the throat.
Yeah, I'm ready for these series to be over. I still maintain what I said 2 days ago. There is no surprise left here. The Warriors are winning their series. The Suns are winning theirs. The Heat are winning theirs. Bucks are winning theirs.
Yep. I want to disagree with you, but after what I saw from Philadelphia last night, there's no question.
To me, the only one you could even with a straight face argue with me about would be the Celtics.
Yeah. That's the one. Like, if they can play lights out for 2 more games, then sure, they can go on to the next series. And then that is a team that I feel like would lose to Miami. That's how Miami ends up in the NBA Finals. And then with 2 seconds to go in the game last night and a complete beatdown, we had some fireworks. Bismack Biyombo going up for the final dunk of the game to put it to a 30-point lead for his Phoenix Suns, and Marquise Chris was not having any of it.
And virtually every fan in the NBA went, Marquise Chris is still in the league?
Right.
Did you know that? Man, you talk about a guy that I felt so hook, line, and sinker for him.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
He was one of those.
I thought he was going to be a monster in this league.
He was one of those on draft night where I went, really? That guy?
Yeah, he can't play dead in the Western on defense. He can score every once in a while, but he's just real. He bees real big, and that's about all he does.
And that's about all he does.
And apparently fights.
Yeah.
I just love the fact he ran through the wrong tunnel, and it took about 30 seconds before anybody not named Boban Marjanovic went, wait.
Oh, wait. He's
Why
going
did he
the wrong
go
way.
that way?
Yeah.
He's not supposed to go that way. There's no good can come of this.
Right. It took everybody a minute to go, okay, so because there was a little bit of time between when Bismack went off the floor and when Marquise Chris went off the floor. And then they realized, oh, wait, Marquise, he's not lost. He knows where he's going because he spent the first few years of his career here in Phoenix.
Yeah, he knows exactly where he's going. Frankly, he may have left a weapon somewhere in this arena.
Right.
Maybe somebody should stop him.
Right. So they had to chase him down in the tunnel to break it up.
Before we go to commercial break, Patrick Holt with our first Super Chat of the day, wishing a happy 15th birthday to his daughter, Taylor.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Taylor.
Yes, indeed. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up after the break, I got some big news to share. And, of course, Jeremy's going to have your picks of the night in Greene on Greene.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Spots are still available for the Brad Johnson Celebrity Golf Classic, Tuesday, June 7th at the Cliffs Walnut Cove.
Hey, this is Super Bowl champion quarterback Brad Johnson. I hope you will support Evelyn Charities and join me for a great round of golf, food, and fun at the Cliffs Walnut Cove on Tuesday, June 7th.
100% of the proceeds go to help those in need right here in Asheville and Western North Carolina through Evelyn Charities. For more information and to get signed up, go to eblencharities.org. That's EBLEN charities.org.
Can't wait to see you.
I'm Katie Dean. I'm a Democrat running for Congress, and I'm asking for your vote on Tuesday, May 17th. I'm a Class 5 kayaker, mountain biker, environmental engineer, and I run an auto repair shop with my husband. I've spent the best moments of my life in Western North Carolina. We have to protect our public lands, but politicians aren't listening and don't understand. Send someone to Congress who has the grit to protect what makes Western North Carolina so special. I'm Katie Dean. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Katie Dean for Congress.
The job market is competitive right now, so you need to be competitive to attract top talent. If you're trying to fill open positions at your business, iHeartMedia is here to help. Use radio and digital targeting to find fresh, passive candidates currently in the workforce. These candidates are listening right now, looking for new opportunities. Together, we can let the community know you're hiring. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Bowling Balls, yeah. Goals last long, it's TP goals, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rows in one, lasts forever on my buns. Only Super Mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month and no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $249, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
2-2 last night in the NBA. Got both spreads, missed both over-unders. Thanks to absolute eviscerations. But I was right about what side it was going to happen on. 4 picks for you tonight in the NBA. 2 games first. The Milwaukee Bucks are a 5.5-point dog tonight at the Boston Celtics. Over-under is 214.5. This line is stupid. I do not, for the life of me, understand what it is that Vegas is seeing in this. Milwaukee's not overwhelmingly worse on the road than they are at home. I don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm going with my gut on this one. You got this line wrong. I'm taking the Bucks plus 5.5 under the 214.5. The Memphis Grizzlies are a 4-point dog against the Golden State Warriors over under 218.5. Look, Stephen Tao said it in our comments. The Grizzlies were 20-5 without Ja Morant this year. They're not overwhelmingly worse, and their back's against the wall. I don't think they can win this game, but I think it's going to be very close. Probably looks a lot like the last game where they lead for a long time. I'm going over 218.5. Grizzlies plus the 4.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And you can take those wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. Again, that promo code Sportsocracy at betus.com. Warriors and the Grizzlies, Bucks and the Celtics. So you think that Memphis is going to be able to hang around here for?
I think this game will be
game?
close. I think it's going to look exactly like the last. It's going to look exactly like Game 4 did.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis will probably lead for a decent amount of it, and then they just can't close. With no job, they don't have anybody in the last 2 or 3 minutes that is that guy, the guy that can go get a bucket. And that's the reason that I compared Ja Morant to Allen Iverson so often. That's who he reminds me of. 2 minutes to go, you knew where the ball was going. You just couldn't stop him.
Right.
Now, the problem is that you could turn around on the other end and go right at him. That's a slight difference between him and Ja. But I think the game will be close. I'm just ready for the series to be over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of watching Philadelphia and Miami. I know who's better here. There's no doubt in my mind who's better. I'm tired of watching Memphis and Golden State. They can do nothing with that small ball lineup, whether it's Kuminga, whoever the fifth is. It doesn't matter. Jordan Poole, doesn't matter.
Yep.
I'm just ready for it to be over. There are 4 teams to me that are clearly better than everybody else in the league. I want to see Miami and Milwaukee because I think that might end up in just a pure street fight. And Golden State Phoenix, which would probably be the best playoff series we've seen in, I'd say, 5 years.
Yeah.
Bad thing is the finals almost invariably can't live up to it. Suns Warriors will be phenomenal.
Oh, I agree.
They match up well. It will be fun to watch. You have personalities, you have names, you have storylines. On the other side, you have less of that. But it will be good basketball for people like me that like to wager on it. And
like the defensive side of the game.
And just like non-modern basketball, because that's what Milwaukee-Miami would look like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to I'm waiting for somebody to give me a rational explanation for how Milwaukee's a 5.5-point dog tonight. I don't get it. Like, what am I missing?
I mean, Boston's a tough place to play. Maybe they're expecting Al Horford to score another 30 points, even though it's the only time he's ever done it in his career.
I don't get it.
Not sure where they're going with that. I have big news to share because I've had another weigh-in with PhD weight loss, and I am officially broken down the barrier of the 230s. I now weigh 229 pounds, and in 23 weeks with PhD weight loss, I have lost 66.4 pounds. I love the fact that every day is a new milestone for me, and I feel like a different person. No kidding, every day.
I feel like a different person because for the first time in as long as I can remember, I can actually sleep. As heavy as I was, one of my biggest problems was at night, I woke up constantly, and that was if I actually got to sleep. Thanks to the program, the food, and the weight loss from PhD Weight Loss, I'm sleeping like a baby.
Because of all of the weight loss, this past Friday, I did the Chamber Challenge 5K. I have now set a mark that next spring, I'm going to do the 10K over the Cooper River Bridge in Charleston, South Carolina. That is now my goal. And I have a weight loss goal of getting down to 175 pounds. I still have a ways to go on my journey, but I know that PhD can get me there. Go to myphdweightloss.com if you want great results from a weight loss program. And don't forget, PhD Weight Loss, now the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Coming up after the Sports Center update at the top of the hour here, we are going to talk about the rookies in the NFL. Who are going to be the best bets to win Rookie of the Year? Who wound up in a perfect position, offense and defense, and what veterans in the NFL are going to get displaced because of the rookies that joined those teams?
We got to ask a slew of questions over the first 2 days of this week about free agents, guys that were still out there. Well, we're going to add to that list, and we'll tell you where some of these guys could land.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Check us out on the YouTube stream as well as Jeremy continues the Weddle fun. Go to thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little cooler for us tomorrow, mainly clear skies for us here tonight. Temperatures tonight drop down to right around 50 degrees. Clouds expected to increase as we head through the day. On Thursday, it'll be a bit breezy. Northeast winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, and again cooler. Afternoon highs in the low to mid-70s, right about where we should be this time of year. Scattered showers overnight Thursday night, 57. Showers, even a rumble of thunder on Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by COVIDclinic.org. Summer is here. Proms, vacations, family time, and grad nights. Don't bring COVID-19 to the party. The next surge could be just ahead. Keep your loved ones safe. Visit your local COVID clinic and get a PCR or rapid result test. Life is for living. Book a test. COVIDclinic.org. That's COVIDclinic.org.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
You've heard the latest news, traffic, and weather. But there's something else you should hear. Consider getting a COVID-19 booster, as recommended by the CDC. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Did you know select Ingles markets now offer curbside service? Shopping has never been easier with all the quality and service you expect from Ingles. Visit ingles-markets.com to find a store near you and start shopping.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football. From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Grizzlies' chances of staving off elimination now a whole lot tougher. Marant out of a must-win in Game 5 tonight against the Warriors. He's doubtful the remainder of the postseason with a bone bruise in his right knee. With no Marant, one player Memphis needs to step up is Dylan Brooks, says ESPN's Tim Legler.
This guy has been so critical to their success the last 2 seasons. So I look at him and I also look at Tyus Jones. Look, if you're not going to have Marant, you're going to need elite level play from your point guard position. And I think Tyus Jones is capable of doing it. He's definitely a guy that can make a difference defensively, but more importantly, he's going to have to make shots in this one.
Celtics center Robert Williams with knee soreness, questionable for Game 5 versus the Bucks tonight, 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. That series is tied 2-2. Nets GM Sean Marks said today Kyrie Irving will have to prove a commitment to being available to his team that was not there this past season. Kyrie missed nearly all of Brooklyn's home games because he refused to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Baseball, today's Guardians-White Sox game postponed due to a COVID-19 outbreak within the Cleveland organization. Manager Terry Francona among those testing positive.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Pay. That's pay. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. Check us out on the YouTube stream, thesportsocracy.com. Just click on the live video link there in the middle of the website. That one's sitting right over mine and Jeremy's faces, which is, you're welcome for that, by the way. Although the back of my head is not really the best feature of me. But click on that live video link, hit the subscribe button so you can join us in the chat each and every time that we are live, much like we will be live tomorrow evening, as we will be doing the NFL schedule release play-by-play.
Oh, I'm so ready to have this in hand. The bad thing is that this is where the NFL hibernates for about 6 weeks, which I'm just not ready for. I don't ever want the NFL to go away. 12 months.
Just 12 months.
We got to find a way to eliminate this 6-week period.
But they always find a way. Every day. It's how is the NFL going to win the news cycle today? And as I told you at the beginning of the week, we're going to have these little leaks come out from the NFL about the schedule release each and every day. Today's was on week 10. We're going to have the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy making his return to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. Woo. So now, come on, why do you say woo?
Because I don't care.
Oh, that is a game that you will be tuned into start to finish.
Mike McCarthy showing back up with his team that's going to get scattered, smothered, covered, and chunked by the Green Bay Packers. Okay. Yeah, I'll watch it. You know why? Because it's football.
Mm-hmm.
You could have told me this was the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'd go, yes, good.
That will be a Sunday afternoon game, a pre-evening game, the 4:25 slate on Fox on November the 13th. That will be the third game that I watch that day because that's the morning I'm going to have to wake up early to see my Buccaneers take on the Seattle Seahawks in Munich, Germany. 9:30 start for that one. I always love brunch NFL football.
I tend to sleep through it. I usually wake up about halftime.
Except for that one time that your Jets were on.
Nope, that's the one I'm talking about.
When you played the Falcons in London?
No, that was the most recent. I was on the first time. We played the Dolphins, and we absolutely crushed them. And by the time I woke up, we were up by 3 scores.
Right. I remember I laid out of church because of that.
I just remember that was the one time I looked at Jay Cutler and went, I could actually see him lighting a heater on the sideline. because he looks like he would rather be at any place on the planet Earth than right here.
Right. And we got 4 opportunities for brunch football this year because we got 3 games in London, and then we've got the 1 game in Germany, the first ever in Germany. The Offensive Rookie of the Year award goes to who?
To me, there are several candidates, and none of them are quarterbacks.
Okay.
I think it was Stephen Tao in the comments said, Offensive Rookie of the Year will be Kenny Pickett because he's a quarterback. I don't agree with you.
If they make the playoffs and he has a decent year, he'll unless somebody has just an amazing year.
All right, so let's say that happens. Mm-hmm. Let's say the Steelers do make the playoffs, because right now, Kenny Pickett's the betting favorite, plus 475. And to me, that is stupid. You tell me the path that Pittsburgh makes the playoffs. What do they have to do?
Win 11 games.
No. Okay, I need a little more analysis than that. I know how many wins they need.
Right.
I've been watching this league for quite some time. How are they going to do it?
Because if Kenny Pickett is good, if he's a good rookie,
and
they are going to be a pretty terrifying offense.
And what's good? What does Kenny Pickett's stat line look like if they make the playoffs?
Gosh, he's got to throw for.
There's a number I'm praying.
3,800 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood. Probably 26 touchdowns. His touchdown to interception ratio, I'll say 26-6. That would be a killer stat line.
He's not going 26-6. I mean, you might as well say he needs to sprout wings and fly around, because that's not going to happen.
I don't know.
He loves to turn the ball over. I mean, absolutely. He loves it as much as I love wagering and adult beverages and the Jets.
Right.
That's how much Kenny Pickett likes to turn the ball over. All right, so let me just take the line that you just said.
Okay.
All right, he throws for 3,800 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that would have been last year?
Who would that have been?
Ben.
Okay.
The line you just said was Ben with just a few less interceptions, which he's not going to do.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they make the playoffs, it will be because Najee Harris is special. I'm talking 1,500-plus yards, 15-plus touchdowns. The defense is outrageous. I don't see any path that Kenny Pickett is getting the credit for that. I think one of these receivers is going to be special.
Okay.
It's just a question of which one.
Okay.
And I know which one I think it is.
Oh, are you being Homer?
And he plays for
He's being Mr. Homer. He thinks it's going to be Garrett Wilson.
I think Garrett Wilson's in the best position to succeed.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Vegas loosely agrees with me. I think Treylon Burks is in a great position to succeed.
See, that's mine. Treylon Burks, if I were wagering on this, and you know I hate parting with money for any specific purpose, but at plus 750, which you can get Treylon Burks for right now on betus.com to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, because I don't see a way that he's not the go-to guy in that passing game.
And that's my fear. That's the reason that I think he's a sucker bet.
Okay.
And it's the same reason with Christian Watson. Yes, you will be the one. The problem is that you will be the one. Historically, when you see receivers that are not ones that are cast that way, especially when there's nothing else around them, doesn't tend to go well. And I know somebody will say with Treylon Burks, but what about Robert Woods? Well, he's coming off a catastrophic knee injury. He's not a young guy in the first place. And it's still Ryan Tannehill. He's currently the third most likely to win it. And that's just a little rich for my blood.
Okay.
I'm looking at the 2 Ohio State guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Breece Hall, because he's the one running back that has the opportunity. Him, I think it's going to be split with Michael Carter to such a point that somebody in this class, there's too much talent. There was a lot of narrative that, this draft is just terrible. No, it's not. There were a lot of good players in this draft.
Yes.
And the one that I look at is Chris Olave. If Chris Olave gets a healthy Michael Thomas and you get something from Adam Troutman, you've still got Alvin Kamara. You've got Jameis Winston that loves to throw it all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one at plus 800 that I cannot stop looking at. I just think he's undervalued.
Right.
If I had to put a wager on it, I already have. That would be where I would go. I think he's the most likely. I think he was put in the best position to succeed.
Chris Olave.
Drake London, you don't have a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, straight up. You're the second most likely according to the Vegas odds, and you don't have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. You got Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder throwing to you. Because somebody said this in the comments of, so he has to be Mac Jones from last year. We're talking about Kenny Pickett. Yeah. Without a 1,400-yard receiver like we had in last year's class, Mac Jones, I feel like, would have won that award. Because he's a rookie quarterback who led his team to the playoffs.
And
quote, unquote, led
and
his
it was
team
not
to the
even
playoffs.
close. Jamar Chase was
of course.
special.
But I'm saying without Jamar Chase's amazing year, if Jamar Chase had under 1,000 yards last year, do you not think that they would have? I mean, I understand. How many times have we had that though? How many times have we
you
had
took away half of his production? So
it wasn't a half. It took away a third.
You cut it by 50%.
He had 1,400 yards last year.
15. It's 1,460, but
yeah.
I mean,
but we don't have that very often, is what I'm saying. The past 2 years,
you had it the year before.
Yeah, the past 2 years were anomalies.
Mm-hmm.
Any other year, you probably don't get that kind of special rookie performance from a wide receiver. Although the league
my
has changed
argument
so
would
much.
be Justin Jefferson did the same thing the year before, and if it had been Mac Jones against Justin Jefferson would have done the exact same thing.
No doubt.
Has
the league changed that much, though?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's hard. It's hard for a quarterback. I mean, look at the rookies last year, and last year was a drastically better quarterback class than this year was.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the leading rookie quarterback in passing yards last year? I'm just curious to see if you get it right.
The leading rookie quarterback in passing
of all
yards?
the quarterbacks, who threw for the most yards?
I'd say it's Mac Jones.
It was not.
Was that Hurts?
Oh, wait. I'm looking at might help if I looked at the year that they were actually playing.
Yes.
I thought it's Mac by just a fraction. I thought it was Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
He threw 3,800 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's not winning Rookie of the Year. And I think that is the high water mark for Kenny Pickett. I don't see any shot he's winning this.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest with you, if he turns it over 13 times, they're not making the playoffs.
I would probably agree with that.
Because that doesn't even account for fumbles, and he has little tiny hands that are going to lead to a lot of those.
Right.
Kenneth Walker is also the one that I look at him and go,
I just don't know if he's going to be that special his first year out.
He was the most.
He's got Rashad Penny and Chris Carson.
Well, Chris Carson's not going to be on that team. You can take Chris Carson out.
Okay.
You didn't spend a second-round pick for him to be your third running back.
Well,
and we'll talk about him in the next segment.
Then in that case, he'll still be he will still be splitting carries with Rashad Penny, and I just don't know if you can come up with that much of
and I don't think it's going to be as much as you think it will be.
A boom season.
I don't think that split's going to be as much as you think it will be. I would say it's 70-30 Ken Walker, which apparently he wants to go by Ken Walker and not Kenneth.
Yes. We found that out on draft night.
Yeah. Ken Walker.
I'm going
to get used to that eventually.
I don't think I think I agree with you that it's going to be a wide receiver. I don't think any of the running backs. I know there's a lot of talk about Breece Hall taking over for Michael Carter and he's going to be kicking him to the curb real quick. But that's still going to be a pretty even split, don't you think?
No.
Really?
You traded up for a running back. Michael Carter's going to have a role.
Mm-hmm.
Breece Hall is going to be really, really ridiculously good.
But you think that's a 70-30 split at least?
60-40, 65-35, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Michael Carter showed last year. I mean, you're very, very good, but you're not a workhorse back in this league. I just think that's going. I think Carter cuts into him enough that he's not going to be able to leap one of the receivers.
Right.
I would say one special, and if I had to choose one, it'd be Chris Olave.
Okay. I would go with Treylon Burks just because he doesn't have anybody else to contend with. And he has a decent quarterback.
Oh, Robert Woods. He has Robert Woods to contend with. And how many receivers have you seen be special in Tennessee? Not exactly like you get a ton of opportunity.
Been at least one.
This narrative that he's going to come in and be A.J. Brown, look, I thought I was high on him.
Let's calm down with that, okay? Because it's kind of insane.
Can't get down with Drake London. Can't get down with Christian Watson. He's like plus 900.
It's all too high. You're buying into all of it, and I don't like it.
Right. Jameson Williams, depending on how much.
No shot.
No shot?
Well, I mean, he's going to miss half the year, first of all. Second of all, he's got Jared Goff throwing to him. You could give me Jameson Williams at plus 20 jillion, and I would go, no, I'm good. I don't want to set money on fire.
All right. So Chris Olave is your bet. I'm going to take Treylon Burks. Other than that, there's not really anybody worth talking about.
James Cook, we hadn't mentioned him yet. I said James Cook to Buffalo no less than 50 times in the pre-draft. And that usually means that they're planning on giving him just an unbelievable workload. So he's a dark horse.
Yeah.
That's just one that needed to be mentioned.
Yeah. Because I believe the odds on him have to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,600.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
It was enough of a number that it's a nice dart throw.
Yeah. All right. How about defensive rookie of the year?
This is where it gets fun. Because to me, there are only two guys that this can be, and you're going to have to convince me of anybody else. To me, it can't be Aiden Hutchinson. I don't think he's that player. I don't think he's going to put up stats in a way that you're going to win Rookie of the Year. Trayvon Walker, I'm in the same boat. I think he's going to play 3-4 defensive end. You're just not going to put up the numbers.
Yep.
To me, there are two.
Okay.
It's Kayvon Thibodeau and Kyle Hamilton.
Ooh, okay.
Kyle Hamilton is impressive enough to the Ravens that they're talking about trading Chuck Clark. That should tell you everything you need to know. And that's the team we always talk about.
Kyle Hamilton.
You go and get the guy, and he produces immediately.
Kyle Hamilton was the rookie with the biggest number next to his name that I went, yeah, I think I'd throw something at that. He was plus 850 on BetUs.com earlier today.
He's behind Quay Walker.
He is.
Which is that is so stupid. I can't believe I just said it out loud.
Well, because I feel like they're looking at stat accumulation. And playing in the middle of that Green Bay Packers defense next to Devondre Campbell, he's going to have the opportunity to rack up a whole bunch of tackles.
Yeah, but Devondre is going to take the shine off of him.
That
will be the stat accumulator. To me, the Quay Walker thing's funny. One of many reasons that I love the people that watch this show, because I have counted no less than 3 people, Kevin McKilligan and Tyler Cunningham are the two I see right now, that mentioned there's one other guy that, I love a dog. I am Captain Underdog. And there's a player that I told you I was very fond of through the process, and there is a big number next to his name.
There is, plus 3,500 for Drake Jackson to be the rookie or the defensive rookie of the year in the NFL.
Yeah. Who lines up on the other side of him? Oh, yeah. It's Nick Bosa. Yeah, Drake Jackson's one of those players that I look at and go, I could see you throwing some stupid number in terms of sacks. Kevin asked over under 8 sacks. I'll go over. Because I think he's going to play a lot of pass rush downs.
Yep.
San Francisco felt the same way about him that I did. They just never thought he would be there.
Yeah, and he'll get a lot of cleanup that Bosa doesn't get on the other side of him. That's also what I feel about Kayvon Thibodeau. Being in New York with Wink Martindale as your defensive coordinator, you've got just a crazy pass rusher on the other side of you with Azeez Ojulari. The guys in front of you are really good as well.
The thing that makes me nervous about Karlaftis is that secondary is going to be, how do I put this nicely, poopy. With no James Bradbury, that secondary is bad. And so, I mean, you're going to have to be, you'll have to be Khalil Mack early in your career to do what it is that's expected of you.
Right.
See, my fear with Kayvon is that you're going to see somebody like Drake Jackson put up similar numbers, and that will kill any candidacy you had for this.
Mm-hmm. Devin Lloyd.
That's another one that I at least wanted to mention.
Yeah, Devin Lloyd at plus 800 to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's just something about Jacksonville that they seem to always have that tackle monster in the middle of the defense. Now, they went out in the offseason, they got Foye Oluokun, who led the NFL in tackles with Atlanta this past season.
And that's kind of my fear with him. The number on him's not big enough.
It is a concern.
To be that good as a linebacker, you're going to have to do something special.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is I don't see the things around him for him to put up special numbers. He could be really good. I think he'll easily be on the all-rookie team.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure you can do that Micah Parsons special level of production as a linebacker to win this.
Yeah.
The other one there are two more that need to be mentioned. George Karlaftis.
Mm-hmm.
He's so raw that I could see him only playing 20, 25 snaps a game, which I think would preclude him from being up there. And Derek Stingley Jr., who's plus 1,000. And he's going to be the number one corner, so he is going to get a lot of opportunity to accumulate.
Mm-hmm. And Sauce Gardner. You haven't mentioned him because you didn't want to be the homer again, I know.
Here's the thing. When you got this many players, it's hard to not like your own guys.
Right. I do love the fact that you wound up with on the offensive and defensive rookie of the year betting slips or the rundown here, the odds. You got 4 of them in the top 10 in both. You got Jermaine Johnson. He's getting, some decent odds right now at plus.
He's the 7th most likely to win it.
Plus 950.
He was our 3rd first-round pick.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got a lot of potential for a Jet to end up with both of these awards. I don't think it's going to happen.
If that were to happen, I should not be allowed to speak on air for at least 3 weeks because I will be insufferable singing the praises of Joe Douglas.
But it is rare that a corner comes up with the award. It's only happened twice in the last 15 years.
Well, he's in a good position to succeed. The problem is that he's going to play a lot of that solid defense is weird because they play more cover one than practically any team in the league on third down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a lot of situations where he is man press against the number one corner on the team, which could make him look bad, or it could be, wow, this kid's good. He's good, which is what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah, the last 2 corners to win it, though, it has happened pretty recently. Marshawn Lattimore was one. Marcus Peters was the other.
Peters was the one I remembered. I actually forgot Marshawn Lattimore won it.
Can Derek Stingley Jr. and Ahmad Sauce Gardner come in and be that effective immediately? I think there's a good potential for both of them, actually. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Which vets are going to get kicked to the curb because of rookies? We'll talk about that up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little cooler for us tomorrow. Mainly clear skies for us here tonight. Temperatures tonight drop down to right around 50 degrees. Clouds expected to increase as we head through the day. On Thursday, it'll be a bit breezy. Northeast winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, and again cooler. Afternoon highs in the low to mid-70s, right about where we should be this time of year. Scattered showers overnight Thursday night, 57. Showers, even a rumble of thunder on Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Future 26 eastbound delays between Riverside Drive and 240. A disabled vehicle has the right lane blocked. 40 westbound heavy volume between Fines Creek Road and Harmon Den Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road delays. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. Again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Widespread racism against the Asian American and Pacific Islander community is a serious and devastating issue that is impacting the lives of millions every day. It's up to all of us to stand up, speak out, and put an end to this racism. Stop AAPI Hate is a national coalition that tracks incidents of hate and discrimination against the AAPI community across the United States. To report a hate incident or to learn more about what you can do to help, visit stopaapihate.org now.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Woo-hoo! Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
This spring, let Audible bring a smile with comedy, sci-fi, thrillers, or whatever you love listening to. From audiobooks to exclusive originals to podcasts, find it all on Audible. Sign up and start free at audible.com.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Now is the time to get in the driver's seat of your career. Ingles Markets is looking for new regional drivers to join our Land to Sky distributors fleet. Start with 2 weeks paid time off and paid holidays. Our drivers average over $80,000 per year and they're home every week. Land to Sky offers excellent pay and a great benefits package. 6 months of CDLA driving experience is required to apply. Visit ingles-markets.com/careers to know more. That's ingles-markets.com/careers.
The Sportsocracy.
You're just dumber than a bag of hammers.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. So what rookies, Flostradamus, do you think are going to kick some vets to the curb?
One of them we've already talked about is Chris Carson. To me, there is absolutely no shot he's on this roster. And they don't save a ton, but it's enough. I mean, he's had injury issues. Now you've got him and Penny. Mm-hmm. The Penny that you invested money in. I just don't see how you're going to carry all three of these. I mean, look, I know they want to run the ball, and they want to run it a lot. I don't think it's going to be that much. He would be the one that would – if I had shares of Chris Carson, I would be legitimately terrified.
Okay. I mean, but he's still good enough. Somebody else will pick him up, and he'll be usable.
Well, and that's the question is there anybody that is desperate enough to take the risk on him?
Oh, you know the Houston Texans. They need to run another running back.
Oh, they have 9. So I'm going to go with no.
We said that with the last 4 that they signed.
And they drafted one who may end up being the one. They're such an infuriating team. I did like what they did in the draft, though. Mm-hmm. I have to say nice things about the Houston Texans because I did like what they did in the draft, in large part.
All right, who else is going to have to take a back seat because of a rookie?
One that, and look, this is a guy that, if he's healthy, I know he can play. But it really appears the team that he plays for does not believe that. It's Juwan James. Juwan James was a really good right tackle in this league before the Achilles injury. Now they've gone out, drafted Daniel Faalele, and pursued Morgan Moses. So now you've got, I mean, what is he, the 4?
Mm-hmm.
And you think they're going to keep him around at $5-some-odd million? No. And he's a player that if he hit the open market and I was a team that really needed a right tackle, I would be all over him.
Obviously, Mitch Trubisky. We thought he was going to be the starter in Pittsburgh.
Well, Trubisky's not going to get cut.
No, he won't get cut. You're talking about guys that just straight up get cut from the team.
Yeah, Zach Moss. I see virtually no shot Zach Moss is a Buffalo Bill 3 months from now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
You got James Cook in front of him, Devin Singletary. Oh, and he's bad. Yeah. He's really, really not very good at this game.
And they also went out and got Duke Johnson in the offseason.
Which is.
So.
And tried to sign J.D. McKissick.
Mm-hmm.
They believe in Zach Moss about as much as I believe in gas station sushi.
Duke was the fallback plan after the J.D. McKissick thing blew up.
The one that needs to be discussed, 2 guys that are not going to get cut, I don't think. One of them definitely, one of them I don't think. Jimmy Garoppolo and Baker Mayfield. I am becoming more and more sure that Baker Mayfield does not have a helmet to put on this year.
Which is hilarious to me. But
and it just makes me want to sit back and go, are you not entertained?
Right.
I tried to tell you.
You did. You tried to tell us. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible that the Cleveland Browns would, first off, be in the Deshaun Watson. I didn't think they'd be the winner of the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes.
First one that I ever heard say that. So
yeah, that nobody else jumped all over Baker Mayfield.
Who would jump all over him?
I still look at Seattle.
You
but
can
they
have
know
him. They're out.
Right.
They're
going to keep
no
going
interest.
with Geno Smith and Drew Lock.
Think about what you just said. They think both those guys are better than Baker Mayfield. And I mean firmly believe that. That's not like lip service to, what can we figure out? No, they actually believe they're both better than Baker Mayfield and come with zero headaches.
See, I think that's what a lie sounds like. They know that they won't get the headache.
They could have him for free. They could have him for free. No interest. That's not a lie. This has been proven. It's been borne out. Cleveland is at this point willing to take on about 80% of his salary.
But I don't think that's because they believe that he's not good on the field.
Tell them that.
Okay.
They really genuinely believe. If all things were equal and he became a mime and never spoke another word, they're happier with Geno Smith than they would be with Baker Mayfield. And I'll be honest with you, the more I've thought about it, the more I'm not sure I disagree with him. I am not sure I disagree with him.
I couldn't disagree more.
He's not a good quarterback. He's not. I mean, I'm talking not top 50 in this league. Not good.
That's just patently false, I believe.
It's not, though. I mean, you got to look at how much he's been propped up, having good talent around him in large part, having the best running game in the league, and you're still horribly inconsistent. And the rest of the league has borne that out we're good.
Yeah.
Not only are you not good at this game, you are a big old loudmouth, so we're going to pass.
See, I think that has more to do with it than anything, is that he would be a distraction. He would be
And see, that's one of those things that I hear people say, he's not getting picked up because of his mouth. If anybody thought he was good, you'll deal with that. The problem is when you're bad and loud. That's a problem. That's when you have zero suitors, which he currently does.
All right, any more to mention before we get weird?
I mean, a bunch of fringe. Andy Isabella. He's going to be gone.
The little engine that could.
And I'll tell you one, this is going to sound weird. Kayvon Chason. I'm not going to be shocked if he doesn't make that team.
Yeah.
This will be the third coaching staff, front office, that has not believed in him. And I don't know what to do with that. I've heard weird things out of Jacksonville about him, that they're just looking at it going, you know what, we'll stand up Trayvon Walker before we'll count on him.
Yeah. And that's apparently what they plan to do.
Which is just, okay, like, in a year where virtually no one did anything that just made me go, what are you doing?
That would be the one.
Jacksonville. Yeah. You're always here to make me feel better.
Yeah.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Did you do anything special for Mother's Day this past weekend?
I did. I went and hung out with my mother and some of my family.
Nice. We had a little cookout at our house as well. Mom came over. I cooked her a ribeye steak, which is her favorite, and it was very nice. You know, when I was a kid and I was in school, we used to do all these projects and stuff. So you make crafts or something in class for your mom, or make her a card or something. Well, one school up in Pennsylvania, they had a flower sale. You can buy these fake roses for your mom. And it didn't go the way they wanted it to, because this fake flower just so happens when you open the flower part, it turns into panties. It's very frilly, lacy, thong red panties. And the school sold them. Now, do you want to know the real weird part of this story?
That's not the weird part?
That's not the weirdest part of the story. The weirdest part of the story is the name of this school is the St. Anselm's Catholic School.
Oh, boy.
They sold panty flowers that you can buy for $3 at a gas station as a gag gift to their children, and sent the children home to give them to their mothers.
So, asking for a friend, do you have a link of where to buy said flowers?
Have you never seen these?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
I don't fall for gas station novelties very often. Now, beef jerky, you put beef jerky by the register, you're going to get me more times than you're not going to get me.
Oh, especially that little chipped kind in the can that looks like chewing tobacco?
No, out.
Yeah.
I'm out on that.
Oh, I love that
But
stuff.
now you get the big Slim Jim that has the cheese with it, that defies the law of gravity, that cheese is supposed to be refrigerated. I will eat that every single time.
The principal for St. Anselm's had to send out the follow-up email to parents saying that the roses sold at our Mother's Day plant sale were not the single faux flowers originally intended. Instead, the item was a Valentine's Day gift intended for adults. The administration will determine how the error occurred and take steps to prevent that in the future. Nice.
Good.
Could you imagine the faces on all of these like Catholic school moms when they're, thank you, and then they open it up and go, oh, these are the devil's panties.
You have to understand that my mother's a Southern Baptist singer, and she is one of the funniest humans I've ever met in my life. There is nothing that would have made me happier than to know this existed, just to see the look on her face of, I am going to beat you senseless, which is exactly what I would have gotten.
So great.
I have two weird news stories, and for the second time in 3 days, two people lived out something that absolutely terrifies me. The first one's from West Palm Beach, Florida. A passenger with no flying experience was forced to land a Cessna when the pilot passed out.
Oh, gosh.
This is the first time that has happened, according to air traffic controllers in Fort Pierce, Florida, in the 40-plus years we've been doing this. Apparently, Cessnas are really hard to land, and this guy, it was a 2-seater plane, he radioed to the tower and said, I've got a serious situation here. My pilot has gone incoherent, and I have no idea how to fly this plane.
Oh my.
They asked him what he saw. He said, I see the coast of Florida. They told him to take a left, fly down the coast, and we will figure out where you are. Eventually, they landed him at a nearby regional airstrip in Boca Raton.
Wow.
I have always said, I believe I could land a plane if you gave me a cell phone and a YouTube. Apparently, he did not have a YouTube, but he was instructed by the tower on the ground of how to do this. And according to them, he listened, quote, really well.
Nice. Well, thank God for that. Good for him.
Good for
I was
you.
going to say, at least did he stay at a Holiday Inn last
I
night?
guarantee you he was not a millennial because he listened really well. Rosa Calcutta. She, unfortunately, passed away.
Oh.
And she was set to be buried on April the 26th.
T's and P's.
There's only one problem. She died on April 27th.
Oh.
She was in her casket, and her family they were receiving friends when she opened her eyes and was literally scared to death by being in the coffin.
No.
This happened in Peru.
Okay.
There's no way that could happen here. It happens way more than you think.
No.
When I did the background on this story, there have been 6 in the last 5 years.
In America?
No, one of them was in America.
Okay.
I'll give you one guess what city that was in. It was a major city.
New York.
Nope, Detroit.
Detroit. Of course. Detroit.
Yep. She opened her eyes, was sweating, apparently looked around, and was, according to her family, scared to death.
Uh-huh.
She passed away later at the hospital. I don't like that story. I don't like it at all. And if you want to know why I routinely say, if any of you who can hear my voice allow me to be cremated, we're going to have words. Afterlife, me and you are going to have problems.
Yeah. Wow. See, I always thought your fear of, waking up in the box as it's being burned was just absolutely out to lunch.
One of the stories, oddly enough, also from Peru, they were putting the person in the crematory thing.
Yeah.
And they woke up.
Oh, dear.
No.
That's awful.
We're going to fight. We are going to fight in a less than ideal way.
I just don't see how that can happen. Like, I mean, I understand, like, in these other countries where they don't embalm you or anything like that. Like, I don't think.
So funny you should mention that.
The embalming process would kill you, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they
suck your blood out.
Well, yes, that is how that works. And replace it with goop.
Exactly.
The way this happens is that people have very faint signs of life, and they're never put on actual medical devices to track that. This woman was the reason she ended up in the box. She was in a car wreck. So there's no signs of life. They just went, she has passed.
Right.
Well, apparently she had very faint signs of life. And somehow, with no medical attention for 2 full days, she woke up in the box. And this story gives me great anguish to even say out loud.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm going to have nightmares.
Oh, my gosh. That's all he needed. You throw a squirrel into that scenario, and he'll never sleep again. Despite all the success that he's had with PhD weight loss. Helping him sleep better. MyPhDweightloss.com.
Correct.
Kicker Josh Lambo suing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who did not see this coming? As we all know the story, we got a great chuckle out of it when it happened last year.
Don't kick the kicker!
Right, during the preseason, Urban Meyer kicked Josh Lambo as they were stretching on the field and said, make your stinking kicks. And then when he got up in his face and said, don't touch me like that, he said, I'm the head ball coach and I'll do whatever I want to do. And that is now leading to a lawsuit, as the lawsuit has been filed and Josh Lambo is seeking $3.5 million from the Jacksonville Jaguars, plus damages for emotional distress.
And he will receive $0 US.
I don't believe you're right.
Well, here's the problem. They paid him his full salary.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, you didn't lose anything. See, here's the thing, Pumpkin. Had they not paid you, then yes, you would have all the legal rights to pursue that. But see, they did pay you, and I know we live in a place where nobody ever says no. But and look, they might settle this out of court. But if this goes to a judge, I do not personally, and I don't claim to be a lawyer, but I don't really see how you're going to sue someone that paid you your full salary.
Yeah. Well, that
maybe some emotional damages.
Yeah, the emotional damages part you may have. I mean, they give emotional damages for anything these days in courtrooms. So
Ben Simmons is on line one.
So he may be able to get something. I had not heard that part of the story.
Yeah, they paid us. He was a vested veteran. By the time they released him, there was nothing they could do. If you're on the roster week 1, they pay your full salary.
Okay, so they did pay him the $3.5 million. Interesting little tidbit there. But of course, the Jaguars continue to deny that they fostered a hostile work environment with Urban Meyer.
Some of the stories I have heard from Urban Meyer are, they're practically beyond belief of things that happened, how this went. And the sad thing, if he ever decides, hey, I want to get back into coaching. There are 40 colleges that would line up for him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Also, where they will find an issue in court is if it is true that Urban Meyer threatened to fire him if he spoke up about it. That could be a great problem for the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. But again, we're not lawyers. We're not judges.
Well, I mean, and here's the other problem. They've already fired Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing if he was still on the job and he's
Right.
harboring that, and no, we found these things out and we eradicated him.
And this could be a great chip for the Jacksonville Jaguars to use as well. If they end up getting sued by Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer needs to not say the word sue to anyone. Right. You need to go take that Fox money they're apparently offering you and hush.
Right. So if there ends up being a dispute over Urban wanting the rest of his pay or whatever thinks he's still owed by the Jacksonville Jaguars, this is a chip that they can use and go, see, we fired him for cause. All right, it is time for Something to Chew On with Caleb Peak, brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets.
It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love. And it's very important. And ESPN has been so kind to support me in this endeavor and allow me to announce tonight that with ESPN's support, which means what? Their money and their dollars, and they're helping me, we are starting the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. And its motto is, don't give up, don't ever give up. And that's what I'm going to try to do.
Legendary words from a legendary coach. This is Chew on That, brought to you by Ingles Markets, low prices, love the savings. I'm Caleb Peak, and you've heard it 1,000 times by now. Jim Valvano's speech at the inaugural ESPYs, March 4th, 1993. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. But there's something about the timing of the announcement that a new movie is going to star Ray Romano as the great Jimmy V, with members of the Valvano family providing oversight as executive producers. Because if we're being honest, timing is everything. Whether it's a good joke, a marriage proposal, a multi-million-dollar pitch in the boardroom, timing can be the one factor that determines whether something goes down in the books as simply average or once in a lifetime. And that's why I'm struggling to convince myself that everything that's happened so far this week, and it's only Wednesday, has been nothing more than a mere coincidence. Since the plans for that forthcoming film were made public on Monday, just think about the history-making, even career-defining moments you've seen unfold right in front of your eyes. On Monday night, Cleveland Guardians first baseman Josh Naylor was hitting .318 on the season with 2 home runs through 5 weeks of the regular season. But with his team down by 4 with 2 away in the 9th and the bases full, Naylor unloaded on Chicago's Liam Hendriks to tie the game at 8 apiece after the Chi Sox held an 8-2 lead headed into the final frame. But wait, there's more. In the top of the 11th, Naylor tacked on 3 more runs, courtesy of a 3-run shot to right center. Josh Naylor would finish with 8 RBIs on the night, only the 4th Cleveland player to put that many runs on the board since 1999. And get this, the first player in MLB's long storied history to slug 2 home runs worth at least 3 runs each in the 9th inning or later. It makes the Mets' 7-run 9th inning comeback against Philly look like child's play. Then there was the exorcism of Al Horford just a couple of hours earlier on Monday evening, as Giannis brought out the demon in the Celtics big man. Horford, now in his 15th year in the league, is known for being a competitive but milder-mannered type of guy. He plays hard, but there's not much that gets under his thick skin. But when the young buck Antetokounmpo stared him down after a monster flush on Al early in the second half, earning a technical for taunting, an uncharacteristic fire ignited inside the 35-year-old. Horford would score 16 of his 30 points in the fourth quarter alone, including a return the favor poster slam on the Greek Freak. He was 6 for 6 from the floor in the fourth quarter after Boston found themselves down by as many as 11 in the third. Redemption comes from unlikely sources. And on a night when neither team shot particularly well, it was the veteran Horford ready and waiting to provide a youthful spark and lead the way to a series-tying 116-108 victory as the heavyweight battle heads back to Beantown. And now we go from a veteran to a rookie. as Los Angeles Angels pitcher Reed Detmers just last night became the youngest pitcher in Angels franchise history to toss a complete game no-no. It was only his 11th start in the majors, and he'd never gone deeper than 6 innings in any of his previous outings. It took him 108 pitches. And here's the kicker. He only struck out 2 Tampa Bay Rays. By the way, those 108 pitches were the highest pitch count of any hurler so far this season, as a truncated spring training has led to managers firmly limiting the wear and tear on their starters' arms early in the season. What's even better is the entire team crowded around Detmers during his post-game interview for the Angels television broadcast. Nobody left early for the clubhouse. They were all there for this rookie's magical moment. Is it just a weird coincidence that all this happened 2 days after the world was made aware of the coming movie about Jimmy V? Maybe so. But think about this. In that same 1993 speech, Valvano closed by saying this: "Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind. It cannot touch my heart. And it cannot touch my soul. And those 3 things are going to carry on forever." Here in 2022, the spirit of Jimmy V is alive and well. Don't believe me? Just watch the highlights. I'm Caleb Peak. That's something to chew on.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy traffic volume 240 eastbound between Amboy Road and US 1923 Business Exit 2. An accident has a lane closed near Exit 2. 240 westbound slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound crawling between Fines Creek Road and Harmon Den Road. Sweden Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. And again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. Whether you want your pet to have the independence to run and play outside, or you need to correct some mischievous behaviors like digging in the trash, the hands-on trainers from Invisible Fence brand train your pets for you. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more. Invisible Fence brand. Surround your pets with care.
By now, you know how regenerative medicine is amazingly effective at treating joint pain. QC Kinetics has helped thousands of people get their life back pain-free. They're now using the same regenerative protocols to restore thinning hair for men and women, with astonishing results. It's hair restoration without surgery. Natural biologic treatments that can restore aging hair follicles, giving you thicker, fuller hair. Regenerative medicine is such a breakthrough, it uses your own body's powerful growth and healing agents, highly concentrated and applied directly to the affected area. No drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. So if you're losing your hair due to aging, pattern baldness, or a medical condition, call now to learn more about exciting natural biologic treatments that can stimulate those dormant hair follicles. Get it growing naturally again. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
Hustle up, we've got 8 more floors to go before lunch.
Sarusha's window washing business is reaching new heights.
Wipe, and let's roll.
They need more certified cleaners to keep online reviews crystal clear.
Team, I know we're hustling, but watch for streaks. Candace, can you give me a hand over here?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that biggie bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Dirty Turkish back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
This is the time that I'm not angry at what was said. I'm angry at when it was said. This comes from Brooklyn Nets GM Sean Marks. We need people here that want to be here. They're selfless, that want to be part of something bigger than themselves, and there's an objective and there's a goal at stake here. And in order to do that, we're going to need availability from everybody. That was in reference to Kyrie Irving. The same Kyrie Irving that we did this fun little game with for 4 solid months about whether he would get a vaccine. Now, I personally don't care if he gets it, got it, ever gets. I don't care. That's your own choice. Here's my problem. You choose to say this after you get bounced out of the playoffs. After it doesn't work, all the heat's on you. Why did you not say this in November? You know, when it was, what's that word? Relevant, as opposed to just something you say when things aren't working. Sean Marks kept largely quiet about this and gave the lip service answer of he will be here when he's here throughout the season. So you choose the easy time to say this as opposed to when it would have actually been difficult for you. That's real lip service. I'm mad.
Unbelievable. Did not have the stones to stand up to his star player and say, get it or get out. And now he wants to talk about it. Unbelievable. Speaking of the coronavirus, we've got the first cancellation of a game in the Major League Baseball season because of COVID-19. There's an outbreak within the Cleveland Guardians organization. Manager Terry Francona and other coaches, uniformed staff, and travel support staff have apparently tested positive, and they've canceled tonight's game with the Chicago White Sox, or postponed it. It will be made up at a later date. I'm still just baffled that we're going through this, especially with managers. Like, what does a manager really do during the game?
I've always said a manager could just not show up in baseball and nobody would actually notice.
Indeed.
Somebody do the lineup and call guys to the bullpen.
Do you have one? Do you have one bench coach that is still available to run the show and to say, hey, it's time to pull this pitcher, it's time to pinch hit, it's time to pinch run? Not a whole lot for them to do, but they postponed tonight's game. We'll have Braves baseball coming up for you tonight on ESPN Asheville. The Red Sox they broke the losing streak last night with a win over the Braves. We'll see if they can pull back-to-back wins. Hopefully for the Braves, though, they can get a win tonight at home. I have to do it without Ronald Acuna, though. He's getting a night of rest. We will see you back here tomorrow on ESPN Asheville at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little cooler for us tomorrow. Mainly clear skies for us here tonight. Temperatures tonight drop down to right around 50 degrees. Clouds expected to increase as we head through the day. On Thursday, it'll be a bit breezy. Northeast winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, and again cooler. Afternoon highs in the low to mid-70s. Right about where we should be this time of year. Scattered showers overnight Thursday night, 57. Showers, even a rumble of thunder on Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy traffic volume, 240 eastbound between Amboy Road and US 1923 Business Exit 2. An accident has a lane closed near exit 2. 240 westbound slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound crawling between Fines Creek Road and Harmon Den Road. Sweden Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. And again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.